lecture. And we are starting from the very first beginning. As you can see from the screen, my name is ESV Dr. Celestine Aniagolu. I am the immediate past head of Department of Estate Management, Enugu State University of Science and Technology. And I have been assigned to take you on PPE. If you are hearing me clearly, please indicate.
I can hear you, sir.
You can go ahead, sir.
Okay.
You can hear you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Very clear, sir.
Before we start, I would like to make an announcement. I was asked to inform you that you are supposed to also join the lectures in valuation and plant and machinery valuation, because I was told to concentrate on PPE, not to take the area of valuation, because some other person is taking valuation. But I'm trying as much as possible to see if I can squeeze the first two lectures for general things, so that the last two lectures, which are double periods, we can also use them for valuation, because I know that valuation is usually a difficult place for students. So, but in the interim, you should look at the timetable and be able to join the valuation lecture and the plant and equipment valuation lecture. So for what we have today, I will plead that you listen to the lecture. At the end of the lecture, we will now take questions for want of time, because if you look at your lecture pack, it's about 270 something pages, and we have to compress it in less than 4 lectures. Okay, we begin. Our first topic is knowledge and structure of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Knowledge and structure of the institution. The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers is usually referred to as the institution. So when you hear institution, we are talking about Niesv. And the first topic we are taking is the brief history of the profession. Brief history of the profession. The first set of people that read estate management in Nigeria did so outside the country. They did so in precisely UK. The first person who graduated in 1954, and that is late J.W. Ekmenyo. And that means if you check when he graduated, he's a number of years older than myself. All the other people that read estate management before 1960 read it in UK, outside Nigeria. So with independence in 1960, they all came back, hoping to practice the profession they have read and acquired the certificates. Unfortunately, when they returned to Nigeria, they were relegated to work under lawyers, because lawyers were all carrying out all matters as to everything that has to do with land. And this was unacceptable to our founding fathers. And for that reason, in 1963, 5 senior members of the profession, led by J.W. Ekpenyong, met in Lagos and started working on what we today refer to as Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. They made presentations to the then ruling body in Nigeria, and told them that they would not want to be relegated to work under lawyers. And they tried to make them understand why it is necessary that they have their own professional body. It was only in 1965 that the then ruling government in Nigeria recognized Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, NIS, Nigerian Institute of Surveyors. This comprised at that time land surveyors and estate surveyors. NIS, as at that time, was made up of land surveyors and estate surveyors. It was a welcome development. But along the line, a circular came from the ministry recognizing only land surveyors to go with the name surveyors. Estate surveyors were excluded from answering surveyors. And for that reason, our founding fathers felt that they need to do something about that. And from 1965, they started making representation to the government so that they can have a profession of their own. It was only in 1969 that they decided to pull away from NIS, Nigerian Institute of Surveyors. And in that same 1969, they held their first conference in Ibadan. It was during that conference that the institution was given birth to. So we believe that the institution has started in 1969. But at that 1969, there was no government recognition. So our founding fathers also made a lot of representation to the government, and it was only in 1975 that the recognition came by way of decree number 24 of 1975, which created the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria. So with the ESVON, the government now recognizes this profession. And you can now see that our profession was given birth to in 1969, but it has government recognition in 1975. Objectives of the institution. Objectives of has a number of objectives. Number one is to establish a high and reputable standard of professional conduct. High level of professional conduct. In most professions worldwide, one of the things that people don't joke with these days is professional ethics and code of conduct. In fact, for some of our members who are in RICS, you will see that if you pass every other exam and you fail professional conduct or ethics, you will never be registered with RICS. And that means professional conduct is one of the most important things that will make you an estate surveyor and valuer. And that is why sometimes in the university, when we are graduating, what you will hear is that you have been found worthy in character and learning. Character first before learning. And when you are talking about professional conduct, one of the things the institution is very interested in is our professional conduct as far as the profession is concerned. Number two, the institution tries to secure and improve technical knowledge in land economy. Technical knowledge. You know, our course is a professional course. And that means anybody who read estate management has acquired some technical knowledge. Knowledge in the area of valuation, knowledge in the area of property management, in the area of facilities management. These are specialized areas. So one of the objectives of the institution is to make sure that we get this technical knowledge. And we do that by collaborating with universities and other institutions of higher learning and other professional bodies. The next one is that the institution tries to promote the general interest of the profession. General interest of the profession by advising members of the public, the government, statutory bodies, local government associations, and local governments, associations, and other institutions. We give them advice in the area of real estate development, valuation, and so on and so forth. Another objective of the institution is to endeavor to acquaint the public of the role of estate surveyors and valuers. This is one area the institution has a lot of work to do. Advocacy. Advocacy, letting the people know who we are. You will see that sometimes when you go to a property that you manage, you come around and they say, aha, barrister, welcome. And you try to tell the person you are not a barrister, you are an estate surveyor and valuer. The next time when you come, instead of calling you an estate surveyor and valuer, he will end up calling you a lawyer. Aha, lawyer, welcome. You will see that in some parts of Nigeria, although in Lagos and Abuja, our profession is fairly known, but in some other areas, you will see that people don't actually know this profession. So one of the objectives of the institution is to let people know who we are and what we do, especially the contribution we can make to the development of the Nigerian economy. Functions of the institution. Functions of the institution. The institution was established to perform a number of functions. Number one, determining the value of all categories of properties and the interest that exists in them. So one of the primary functions of our institution is to train people that will value properties for various purposes, various interests that exist in properties, their valuation. Number two, another function of the institution is the development and management of properties. Development and management of properties. That is why property development is a very important area in the field of estate management. And when the property has been developed, it is also necessary that we manage these properties effectively and efficiently. So, one of the functions of our institution is to ensure that we develop estates and that we help in managing such estates. Another function of the institution is securing the optimal use of land. Securing the optimal use of land. That is why one of the courses we take in the university is land use and resources. We try to advise on the use of land and not just the use of land, the optimal use of land. Number 4, it is our duty of the function institutions is to ensure that the members talk about the condition of a building with regards to maintenance, improvement, and repairs. You will remember that when we talk about repairs and maintenance, there are two different things. Maintenance and repairs are not the same thing. Maintenance is proactive. Repairs is reactive. You repair something when it has already spoiled. In other words, you repair something when it has already been destroyed, when it's already bad. Or you maintain something to ensure that it doesn't go bad. So one of the functions of the institution is to ensure that our members can determine structure and condition of the building and to advise on their maintenance and maintenance, improvement, and repairs. Another very important function of the institution is the determination of the economic use of resources, to determine the economic use of resources. And in determining the economic use of resources, we talk about the issue of appraisal. And when we are talking about appraisal, we are talking about feasibility and viability.
Please, everybody should mute this mic.
Yeah.
Hello? Is there any problem?
Please,
There are some people that are keeping their speaker on.
Please let everybody mute their mics, please. Everybody should mute their mics.
Please, participants should mute their mics, please.
The background noise is just too much.
Joshua, can you mute your mic? Rose, please try and mute your mic. Okay. Still on the functions of the institution, we are also interested in estate agencies. Estate agency is simply the buying and selling of landed properties.
At least in a draw ahead of them. That's an all-important AFCON qualifier.
A lot of people, please kindly mute your mic so that the background noise will reduce.
The likes of Daniel Lakwi making a turn to the national team. We also have.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Somebody is listening to news and the news is disturbing the background.
Somebody is listening to news. I can hear it. Okay. For the institution, we have 4 major categories of membership. As we know, we have the fellows, the associates, the graduates, the probationers, and the students. Remember, graduates and probationers, we use that to differentiate between those who graduated from universities and those who graduated from polytechnics. And we know also that for each of these categories, there is an entry requirement. For each of these categories, there is an entry requirement. And if you go to your lecture pack, on page 9 of your lecture pack, you will see the entry requirements for being a student, for being a graduate member, for being an associate, and being a fellow. We also have what we call grades of membership. Grades of membership. We have the professional members, those that are referred to as the professionals, the fellows and the associates. And that is why during the conference or during elections, those who are allowed to vote are only the associates and the fellows. We have the non-professional members. These non-professional members are graduates, probationers, and students. All of them are non-professional members. We have corporate members, that is firms, registered firms and organizations. So firms can be registered in the as members of the institution. We also have the honorary members. The President of Nigeria is the grand patron of our institution, and the governors are the patrons in their various states. The structure of the institution. You will notice that the highest body, as far as our institution is concerned, is the AGM. All decisions taken by the AGM stands. The AGM is the highest body, meaning that the annual general meeting is where all the decisions are taken. Any other decision that is taken anywhere needs to be ratified by the annual general meeting. We also have the Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees are elected during elections, and they also take decisions subject to the ratification of the AGM. The National Council is there, and in the council, decisions taken by council is also subject to ratification by the AGM. Within council, we have management committee. Management committee are the people that see to the day-to-day running of the institution. The president, the first vice, the second vice, the honorary national secretary. There are 9 of them in number. It is also necessary that you get to know these members of the management committee, because during your election interview, you may have the opportunity of meeting them, and they may be in the panel that will interview you, and they ask you who is the president, and you say you don't know. It will not be palatable at all. So the management committee are the people that see to the day-to-day running of the institution. And each and every one of them, it is important that you know them by name, and you also see their pictures and recognize them, because it will be unfair if you are attending an interview and they ask you who is the first vice president of the institution. You say ESV Jambul, where is he? Maybe he's a member of your panel because he's the chairman of membership committee, and you don't know who he is, sorry. You don't know who he is, that will be embarrassing. So it's important that you know all the members of the management committee. We also have the statutory committees of council. We have the statutory committees of council. In council, we have about 12 committees. We'll get to that. We'll discuss the committees of the council. And the president usually runs council through these committees. We'll come to that. Then we have the National Secretariat and the various liaison offices. We have a liaison office in Lagos. We have our head office at Abuja, and another liaison office in Enugu. I tried to come up with an organizational structure. It is not in your lecture pack, but you can screenshot and keep these for your own use. Just like I said, the General Conference is at the apex. We have the National Council under the AGM, we have the Board of Trustees, we have the auditors. Then we have the management committees and other committees of council. Then the national secretary with the national secretariat. We have the branches, and remember, we have 37 branches. We have 37 branches. Please put it down. It is important. How many branches do we have? We have 37 branches, the 36 states of Nigeria, and Abuja. That is 37 branches. Then we have the branch executives and we have members. This is the organizational structure of the institution. It's important that you have it. I was just talking about the committees of council. Committees of council. And I said there are 12 committees. The first one is the management committee. The management committee sees to the day-to-day running of the institution with the president at the helm of affairs. Then we have privileges committee, membership committee, which is the one you're going to face when you pass your exam. Membership committee, they are the ones that will interview you during the election interview. Membership, anything that has to do with membership is handled by the membership committee. We have the finance and general purpose committee, and you can see management committee has 9 members, but membership committee has 59 members, to show you how serious that committee is. The Finance and General Purpose Committee handles our finances and other things that may crop up, and they have 25 members. We have the PPC, the Professional Practice Committee. That is the disciplinary body. The disciplinary body. If you have any grievance against anybody, you report to PPC. Then we have the Case Affairs committed by the Honorary Publicity Secretary. Honorary Publicity Secretary. We have the National MCPD Committee for continuing professional development. For continuing professional development. Then we have the Research and Development Committee. Their duty is to carry out research, and their research will help us move the profession forward. We have the Statute and Government Relations Committee. That committee is supposed to be always liaising with the government, always interacting with the government, always making our profession at the forefront of government activities, making sure we are invited to government activities, making sure that we are fully represented whenever the government is taking a decision. Also, trying to advise the government, and that committee is a very important committee. We have the Legal Matters Committee that handle everything that has to do with legal matters. And finally, we have the Editorial Board Committee. The Editorial Board Committee are the ones that publish most publications of the institution. Anything that we published by the institution will pass through the Editorial Board Committee. So these committees are very important, and you need to know them and what they do for the institution. The Code of Conduct. Code of Conduct. Like I said before, one of the most important things in every profession is ethics and code of conduct. And most of the time, the code of conduct is actually what tells us who you are. And because this code of conduct is very important, it is equally enshrined into the law that created us. That is the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria. Decree number 24 of 1975. The code of conduct, as stated in that law, include the following. Number one, no estate surveyor and valuer shall be connected with in any way with any other occupation that is incompatible with our own profession. Once you are a member of Niesv, it will not be correct for you to go and join a parallel body, meaning that you are now working against the object of the institution. It is not allowed. Once you are a member of Niesv, you are not allowed to work against the interest of the profession. Number two, it shall be the duty of the estate surveyor and valuers when acting for a client whose interest conflicts with their own to discuss or disclose all relevant facts. If you are working for a client and you have special interest in the property in any way, howsoever, you must let the owner of the property know your interest. If you have interest in buying a property that a landlord has put up for sale, you must tell him that you are interested to buy. If you have interest in a property in any way, you must let him know. If you are asked to manage a property and you want to put your personal office in that property, it is necessary that the landlord gets to know. It will not be correct for you to use your position as an estate surveyor and valuer to rip off your client. If the person reports to our PPC, you will be penalized. The next one, which is number 3, every estate surveyor and valuer who is a sole proprietor or a sole principal of a practice or a partner of a practice shall be responsible for any problem that was created by his workers. If you have an office in Lagos, you open another one in Abuja, open another one in Enugu, put managers. Whatever your managers, any offense your managers commit, you are responsible. The institution will hold you responsible. So you will also be held responsible for any acts of professional misconduct by your employees. It is important that you get to know that quite early. The next one, no estate surveyor and valuer shall in his professional capacity accept in any way commission, discount or commission for any personal use. In other words, you cannot for any reason shortchange your colleagues or your competitors simply because you want to get all the jobs. There are, in our profession, when you are doing compensation, you will hear all kinds of things. There are some estate surveyors who go to the field and in signing a power of attorney, you pay the owner of the property so that he will sign for you. That is professional misconduct. If you are reported to the institution, you will be seriously penalized. The next one, no estate surveyor and valuer shall offer to provide, whether to a third party, any gift in order to secure a job. You cannot give out gifts to secure a job. Just like you cannot advertise your firms, you cannot advertise your services. The only way you can do that is to render very good services. We are not allowed, as estate surveyors or professionals, are not allowed to go to the media to advertise. You have never seen a doctor who put an advert, I am the best surgeon in Nigeria. So when you want to operate, come to my hospital. You have never had a lawyer who comes to say, I'm senior advocate of Nigeria. For all your cases, please come to my chambers. So the same way, We don't want you to go and advertise yourself and say you are the best estate surveyor and valuer in Nigeria. So all jobs should come to you. It is not allowed. It is not allowed. The next one, estate surveyors and valuers shall keep a separate account. You must keep a separate account from your firm and your client's account. Your firm's account and your client's account must not be the same account. This is to avoid misappropriation or embezzlement of funds. That is to avoid misappropriation or embezzlement of funds. You are expected to keep a separate account for your client's money and a separate account for your office money. Very, very important. In fact, by the time you go for your interview, this is one of the areas they will ask you questions. The next one, no person shall practice estate surveying and valuer under more than one business name. You will register a business name and use that name to practice. Before, they said you can't practice with pseudo names, but now the profession is saying you can. We are looking for mega firms where people can come together, conglomerate, and produce mega firms. When you have mega firms, these mega firms can compete both nationally and internationally. It will be unfair if we stay here in Nigeria and we allow firms from outside Nigeria, firms from South Africa, firms from UK to come in and take jobs in Nigeria when we have competent hands in Nigeria to handle such jobs. It is very, very important that we understand this. No estate surveyor and valuer shall charge fees that is not in accordance with our professional scale of fees. We have approved professional scale of fees, and this is one area where our members default a lot. Members will do valuation for 20,000, for 15,000, for 10,000. And if you do the actual computation of your fee, you'll see that your fee may be running into 200,000, 300,000 for that same valuation. But because we want to show our client that we are good and others are charging high, we charge the person 20,000. It doesn't tell good about our profession. It is not correct for us to hang more than one board for sale or to let in a property. If we do that, it is professional misconduct. But if you get into town, you will see that there are properties that have as many boards as possible. That is a professional misconduct. An estate surveyor and valuer employed by a limited liability company or a government agency cannot run an office. You cannot open an office and run the office when you are employed by the government or a limited liability company or by other companies. That means you will not be putting the interest of the company or the government where you work in the forefront. You may be playing truancy. That means for you to practice, for you to open an office, what you can do is to resign, get registered, and start practicing. However, there are some lecturers who are allowed to run an office even when they work for the government. The reason is that it is generally understood that these lecturers will definitely go to the field, acquire some skills, acquire some experience, and then come back to the classroom and impart such knowledge to their students. So sometimes lecturers can be given that privilege. Entry requirement to our institution. Of course, we know that for you to be a member of our institution, the O-level requirement is paramount. And for that O-level requirement, we require English, mathematics, compulsory, then one basic science, which is taken from physics, chemistry, biology, or agric science, and any other subject. The 5 credits must be in not more than 2 sittings. The 5 credits must be in not more than 2 sittings. It is also important in this. It is also important for me to mention that in our institution, we have what we call faculties or business groups. Faculties or business groups. By the time you become elected, as you are signing your documents, you are expected to be a member of a minimum of 2 business groups and a maximum of 4 business groups. Some of the business groups you can write them down if you have your biro. You can also go to the website of the institution and you will see those business groups. Some of them include, number 1, the Agricultural Property Management Faculty. Agricultural Property Management Faculty. Number 2, Arbitration and Alternative Dispute Resolution Faculty. Arbitration.
So are you talking about the functions of...
No, I'm talking about the business groups. The business groups. In other words, our profession is now tending towards a specialization. You know, when you are a member of the institution, we are all general practitioners. And because we are general practitioners, when you attend interview, what do you do in your office? Valuation, agency, property management, facilities management. And we notice that all of us are crowding in only 4 aspects of our profession, when there are other areas in our profession that we can expand to. For this reason, management felt that it is good to start business groups within the profession. That will help us to spread out so that members can specialize in different areas. One of the areas is Agricultural Property Management Business Group or faculty. We have Arbitration and Alternative Dispute Resolution Faculty or business group. We have Auctioneering Faculty or business group. Auctioneering. We have Business Assets and Intellectual Property Valuation Faculty. Business Assets and Intellectual Property Valuation Faculty. Business Assets and Intellectual Property Valuation Faculty. We have Compensation and Right-of-Way Valuation Faculty. Compensation and Right-of-Way Valuation Faculty. We have Environmental Valuation Faculty. Environmental Valuation Faculty. We have Estate Agency and Marketing Faculty. Estate Agency and Marketing Faculty. We have the Facilities and Infrastructure Management Faculty. Facility or infrastructure management faculty. The next one is the housing faculty. The housing faculty. The next one is land management and geographic information system faculty. Land management and geographic Graphic Information System faculty. We have the Plant and Equipment Valuation faculty. Plant and Equipment Valuation. You'll remember that we no longer talk about plant and machinery valuation. Rather, it is now plant and equipment valuation. We have the Project Finance and Management faculty. Project Finance and Management faculty. We also have Rural Property Management faculty. Rural Property Management faculty. We have Real Estate Consulting faculty. Real Estate Consulting faculty. And finally, we have the Valuation faculty. These are business groups created by the institution so that we can specialize, we can cover our territory. We don't leave our territory to other people to take over. And at the point of election, you are expected to choose 15 areas of specialization. So,
hello, sir, please, may I hear the last faculty?
of them.
Real estate consulting faculty.
And you are expected. Real estate consulting faculty.
Sir, please, the second one.
The second
arbitration
one,
and alternative
one. And alternative dispute resolution faculty.
Okay.
The seventh one.
The first one, agricultural property.
The seventh one. Seventh.
Number 7 is estate agency and marketing faculty.
Sir, are you at liberty to pick as many as possible, or is there a restriction?
You are expected to specialize in 4. You are taking 4 only out of the 15.
Okay.
Minimum of 2, maximum of 4. Okay, our second
Please, can we hear the third one? Auctioneering.
Corporate services members.
Auctioneering faculty.
Auctioneering, sir, the third. Okay, oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, please, can we use the raise hand function to talk, please, so that we don't make everything clumsy.
What?
So I said we should use the raise hand function if we want to ask questions, so that it's not clumsy. Everybody is asking questions.
That will be fine, please. If you want to say something, you
use the raise
indicate,
hand.
then
Yes,
we'll call you
please.
in. Yes. Then we need to be faster because I have only 2 hours and I've already done close to 40 minutes. We have knowledge of ESVON. When we talk about ESVON, when we say the board, it means ESVON, Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria. Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria. When you are talking about ESVON, please look at that acronym. Look at that acronym. It is very, very important that you look at it very well. It is ESVARBON, so that you don't make the mistake of writing ESVABON. The E stands for estate. S stands for surveyors. Then VA stands for valuers. VA stands for valuers. Then Registration Board of Nigeria. So that you don't make the mistake of writing ESVON without A. That will be disastrous. That will be disastrous. When we were taking the history of our profession, we talked about how ESVON came to be, and ESVON was recognized in 1975 by decree number 24 of 1975. You will also see behind that decree number 24 of 1975, cap 111. Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 1990. Now, I want to make a point. That cap simply means converted from the act of parliament. Converted to act of parliament. In other words, if it's a decree, decrees are used during military regime. Decrees are used during military regime. Once we have a civilian government or a democratic government, all those decrees are converted into act of parliament. So whenever you see CAP, it means converted to act of parliament. So now the current thing is Act Cap 111, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria. The functions of ESVON. The functions of ESVON. It is the duty of ESVON to determine who is to be referred to as estate surveyor and valuer as far as Nigeria is concerned. It is their duty to register people as estate surveyors and valuers. That is one of the reasons why, after being elected as an associate of the institution, you still need to be registered by ESVON, because they are the ones that have the legal right to register you as an estate surveyor and valuer. When they have registered you, they are expected to keep a register. They are expected to keep a register. And that is why every person has a registration number. They are expected to keep a register. That register will let us know your registration number. You know, if you are in the university, once you are admitted into a university, the first thing you are given is a registration number. The same way, the moment they register you, they must give you a registration number. No two people can have the same registration number. And it is the duty of the board to keep that register, so that whenever they are called upon, who is surveyor number 1379, immediately they say it is ESV Dr. Celestine Aniagolo. The next one is that it is the duty of the board to make sure that the knowledge and skill of estate management is properly administered to its members. And that is why they run accrediting universities and polytechnics. Accreditation simply means is an approved ground where our members can be trained. When they say a department is accredited, it simply means that ESVON has recognized them as a training ground where estate surveyors and valuers can be trained. You will also notice that even when you have been registered, from time to time, you are expected to attend MCPDs. MCPDs, meaning that you must keep training yourself and updating your knowledge so that you can meet international standard. It is also the duty of ESVON to approve such MCPDs. You will also see that it is the duty of the ESVON to regulate the practice of the profession. Anything that has to do with regulating the practice of the profession, it is the duty of ESVON. Whenever there is a problem of practice, then ESVON should be informed. They can also perform any other function that has been assigned to them by Decree number 24 of 1975. The structure of ESVON. You can see the structure of ESVON. You will see that ESVON is actually an agency of the government. So they report to the Federal Ministry of Works and Urban Development. Now it is called Federal Ministry of Works and Urban Development. But I put an asterisk up there because that name keeps changing. Each government that comes in changes it. It used to be Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. It later changed to Works, Mining, and Housing and Power. So it keeps changing. Immediately under the ministry, we have the board, the chairman of the board, committees of the board, and the registrar who manages the secretariat of the board. It's important that we always remember that. ESVON operates through committees also, just like we have in institutions. We have the executive committee, we have the finance and general purpose committee, we have the education committee that goes around for accreditation purposes. We have the professional practice committee, we have the rules and regulations committee. We also have the investigative panel committee, and then the ESVON tribunal. The tribunal handles cases that are referred to them. How to become a member? Of course, for you to be a member, the procedure is clearly stated in your lecture pack. Your O-level must be complete. You must pass all the qualifying exams. All the qualifying exams you have to pass. If you have studied outside Nigeria, you present your certificate and the ESVON will consider it. If they see it worthy, they will also attend to you depending on how they see your certificate. The moment you have the qualifying certificates, institutions of higher learning, then you attend the interview, you attend election interview. If you have passed all the processes and become a member of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Immediately after you have become a member of the institution, you also buy a form and apply for registration as a member of the board. When you have submitted your forms, one of the important things you must do is to ensure that you have four people who are recommending you for registration. 4 referees.
From Lunchbox.
The referees must be 2 fellows and 2 associates. 2 fellows and 2 associates. The referees have to be 2 fellows and 2 associates. Please, when you are appointing your referee, you must be careful to ensure that your referee is not owing. The referee is not owing whether at the institution or at the board. Because if your referee is owing, your forms will not be processed. Your forms will not be processed.
Please off your mics, please.
Then the next thing is that the applicant must satisfy the board in terms of character. In terms of
the prayer, please.
And that is why
I would like 7.
you must desist from anything that will result in professional misconduct. Because at this point, if anybody writes a petition against you saying that you are not of good character, it can affect your registration. For students who are in school, if anybody writes and says when you were in school, you were caught cheating in exam, it is likely to affect your registration. If your principal writes to say that you are not of good character, it is likely to affect your registration. So the character is very, very important. It is also important that you attain the age of 21. You attain the age of 21. We have minors and we have majors. Generally, a minor is a person that is under 18 years. Once you are under 18, you are a minor. The moment you attain 18 years, you become a major. What do I mean by a major? You can be punished, full punishment for any offense you commit. And if you go to the Land Use Act, you also see that the Land Use Act says that only persons that are up to 21 years that can own landed property in Nigeria. For that reason, in Nigeria, sometimes they begin to look at majors to be at the age of 21. So Decree number 24 of 1975 pointed out that for you to be registered as an estate surveyor and valuer, you must have attained the age of 21 years. You must have attained the age of 21 years. Finally, you must not be a convict or ex-convict. You must not be an ex-convict. Once it is proven beyond reasonable doubt that you have been convicted by a court in Nigeria of a criminal offense, the board may not register you. It is important that these important things should be taken into consideration. So, after being elected, the next port of call is your registration with ESVON. And not just registering, you are expected to participate in all activities of ESVON. The third topic I would like to look at is the Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria. Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria. It is abbreviated APBN, acronym. The acronym is APBN. APBN is simply an umbrella that brings together institutes, institutions, societies, institutions, societies. Why I decided to point these ones out is that if you look at some professional bodies, they answer institute of this. Our own institution answers institution. Some other professional bodies answer society. For instance, you have Nigerian Society of Engineers. So APBN is a body that brings together professional bodies that are approved by law in Nigeria. That are approved by law in Nigeria. If you go through your lecture pack, you will see that APBN currently has membership strength of 27 different societies. And if you check very well, you will see where those societies were listed. They were all listed. APBN allows professional bodies to speak with one voice. APBN allows professional bodies to speak with one voice, especially when technical issues are being discussed or when government needs advice in highly technical areas. That is why APBN brings in professionals under one umbrella so that they can advise the government at all times, so that the government doesn't make mistakes. You will see also that the federal government of Nigeria recognized APBN as one of the organized private sector. One of the organized private sector. showing that all the professional bodies are part of ABN, APBN, and all of them are members of organized private sector. For you to be admitted into APBN, there are conditions. There are conditions, and if you look at the screen, you will see the conditions that are attached. First, the professional body has to be recognized by an act of parliament or a decree promulgated by a military government during the military regime. And the professional body must have been registered under Companies and Allied Matters Act. That is, the professional body must have also been registered with CAC, Company and Allied Matters Act. The application from a member shall be to the Secretary General of that APBN. So when you are applying, you apply to the Secretary General of APBN. The board of APBN will consider this application. The board will consider this application. The application has to be sponsored. The application has to be sponsored. There must be 2 member bodies that will sponsor the application. It has to be sponsored. Once the board of APBN approves the membership of this professional body, from the date of approval, that professional body automatically becomes a member of APBN. From the day of approval, the professional body immediately becomes part of APBN. The professional body is therefore expected to comply with the requirements of the association. They are required to comply with the requirements of the association. Like I said before, membership of the association, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is 27 members. And if you go to your lecture pack, on page 44 of your lecture pack, you will see the list of all the members of APBN. The next topic is International Real Estate Federation. International Real Estate Federation, FIABC. FIABC. Some of my students always make the mistake of writing FIASB. FIASB. Sometimes you see students writing FIASB, not FIABC. So the correct thing is FIABCI. FIABCI. Now, if you look at International Real Estate Federation and look at the acronym, you will see that they are not the same. The reason is that the acronym is taken from the French version. The acronym is taken from the French version. And you can see on the screen the meaning of that acronym. Fédération Internationale d'Administration Bien Consoles Immobilières. That is French. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce them well. But it all means International Real Estate Federation in English. FIABC is a business network of real estate professionals worldwide. Real estate professionals worldwide. It was founded in Paris in June 1951. It was founded in Paris in June 1951. Currently, it has members in more than 50 countries of the world. Currently, it has members in more than 50 countries of the world. As you can see, it encompasses all the professional bodies in the real estate profession. And that means architects are members, engineers are members, estate surveyors and valuers are members, land surveyors, quantity surveyors, builders, and so on and so forth. All those people in the real estate profession can become members of FIAPC. They can become members of FIAPC. FIAPC was established for a number of purposes. FIAPC was established for a number of purposes. Number one, to safeguard the moral and professional interest of all members of the association. Moral and professional interest. They are talking about ethics again. You can see how important ethics is to every profession. Ethics is something that should be talked about at all times as far as professionals come together. And you will see that the first purpose is to safeguard the moral and professional interest of all its members. Number two, it is their duty to pool and make known any information of general interest to their members. Their duty is to pool information of interest and make it available to their members. Number three, they study and follow up questions arising from member countries, especially when it has to do with the development of different professions, especially when it has to do with the development of different professions. So they try to follow up questions arising from different countries and try to improve on the associations that make up their members. It is also their duties to study and work out solutions of general nature. Solutions of general nature for problems in their member countries. So if we have issues in Nigeria that has to do with real estate profession, they can help us to come up with solutions since we are members of FIAPC. It is also the duty of FIAPC to directly or indirectly promote the interest of all the organizations, all the professions that form part of their membership. The objectives are there. You can screenshot it if it is possible, because I need to be faster because my time is fast finishing. So it's there on your screen. The designations, PSB designation. If you are a member of FIASB, they will give you FIREC. FIREC. That simply means FIASB International Real Estate Consultant. If you are a member, then you will go with the designation FIASB International Real Estate Consultant. Just like when you become a member of the institution as an associate, you put behind your name ANIVS, Associates of the Institution. The same way, if you are a member of FIASB, FIAPSI, you put behind your name FIREC, meaning FIASB International Real Estate Consultant. If you have that designation, then you can have the following advantages. Number one, it differentiates you from your colleagues. It differentiates you from your colleagues. Two, it helps you to gain a competitive advantage. It helps you to gain a competitive advantage. When you are a member of FIAPSI, you can compete nationally and internationally. You can compete. You can put in proposals for jobs within the country and outside the country. It also helps holders to advance their expertise and knowledge of the industry. Because FIAPSI holds international conferences in different areas. When you attend such conferences, you help to enhance your expertise and knowledge of the real estate industry. It also helps you to increase your potential earnings, your earning potential. It helps you to increase your earning potential because when you are a member of FIAPSI, you can practice internationally, and that also expands your horizon. Finally, FIAPSI helps one to enhance his skill. It can help you to enhance your skill. It can also help members to effectively build global businesses. Remember, we said that in Nigeria, we are now encouraging mega firms. We are now encouraging mega firms because we noticed that when we practice as sole proprietors and partnership, our firms cannot compete internationally. And that is why in Nigeria, we'll all be here. And firms from South Africa, firms from UK will come in and take jobs that are in Nigeria. So we expect that our members should be able to expand their business globally. Okay, we also, being a member of FIAPSI also helps you to gain the FIREC designation. For you to be a member of FIAPSI, for you to be a member of FIAPSI, there are three processes. When you apply, there are coursework that you have to do. When you apply, there are coursework you have to do. If you complete the coursework, then you will demonstrate your qualifying experience. You will demonstrate your experience, and that also means that you must show them that you have acquired enough professional knowledge, enough professional experience. Then, before you are finally registered, you are expected to attend their activities internationally, wherever it is holding. If you get into their website, you will see their calendar of events. If you are able to attend their activities, then you will gain some points that will help you to get registered as a member of FIAPSI. FIAPSI also have some professional exchanges. Professional exchanges. It offers its members opportunities to participate in educational exchanges and other internships that are abroad. So like I said, you have to do coursework. You can also do some professional exchanges. That means you can travel abroad and do internship in one of the firms, member firms. Number two, through its exchanges, FIAPSI helps young professionals and students to organize internships abroad. You can organize young estate surveyors can go for internships abroad through the FIAPSI route. It allows participants to develop their skills. They organize conferences and international conferences, international workshops. You can improve your skills and develop your body of knowledge. They can also do professional exchange programs. They do professional exchange programs. They can also involve in educational exchange programs with different academic institutions. Different academic institutions. These are some of the professional exchanges. Who can join FIAPSI? Who can be a member of FIAPSI? Professional associations, like our institution, is already a member of FIAPSI. Individuals and private companies can be members of FIAPSI. Public sector institutions can also be members of FIAPSI. Academic institutions, universities, polytechnics, research institutions can be members of FIAPSI. Then young members, young professionals, and students can also be members of FIAPSI. Our next topic is on
Friday level. Oh yeah! If you never know, you better say you know. Nice on the Friday level. Now we say like this sort of type of don't wait my song.
Who is that person?
My brother.
Okay, our next topic is CASTLE, Commonwealth Association of Surveying and Land Economy. Commonwealth Association of Surveying and Land Economy. CASTLE, that is the acronym. Quite unlike the other bodies we have mentioned, CASTLE is for surveyors. CASTLE is for surveyors. And you know, in the surveying profession, we have different categories of surveyors. The land surveyors, the estate surveyors and valuers, the quantity surveyors. These are different categories of surveyors. So, CASTLE is an international organization that brings under the same umbrella professional associations in land economy and surveying. Professional associations in land economy and surveying. It was founded in 1969, and as you can see, it is mostly for Commonwealth countries. Remember, please, there's a difference between commonwealth and commonwealth. They are two different things. Commonwealth and commonwealth is one word in pronunciation, commonwealth, and not commonwealth. When you say commonwealth, it means a different thing altogether. Commonwealth nations. CASLE is a non-profit making organization. It is a non-profit making organization. It welcomes membership from professional institutions, institutes, societies, individuals, and other groups. It can welcome membership from professional individuals and other groups, as far as long as all these institutions we have mentioned or groups we have mentioned are involved in land economy or surveying. CASLE has the following aim: to encourage the provision in Commonwealth countries of adequate professional and technician education, helps us to develop professional and technical education in Commonwealth countries. Number two, it tries to transfer technology from one Commonwealth country to another. To transfer technology. You can see that technology is something that is dynamic. It keeps changing. So they transfer technology from one country to another. CASLE is also interested in continuing professional development of members. They make sure that members keep improving on what they know. Remember, the Englishman says, if you stop being good, he who stops being better will one day stop being good. That is why continuing professional development is taken seriously by all professional bodies. That is why before you are elected, you are expected to have acquired some points, not less than 20 points, to make sure you have been attending CPDs, continuing professional development workshops. It helps you to develop your skill and improve on your knowledge of this profession. CASLE has a number of objectives. CASLE has a number of objectives. You can screenshot those objectives because I'm sure they are not in your lecture pack. Please, if it is possible, screenshot and have it. You can see that they maintain and strengthen professional links between Commonwealth countries. You can also see that they help to establish professional societies in different countries. They help, or they try to help, in the establishment of professional bodies within Commonwealth countries. They also try to help to maintain appropriate standard of education. Appropriate standard of education that will help to maintain the skills that is required for the profession. They evaluate education standards from time to time by coordinating rights of professionals, by coordinating rights of the professionals. there are other objectives of CASTLE. Please, for want of time, we'll try to move to the next topic, which subtopic, which is how does CASTLE achieve its objectives. CASTLE achieves its objectives by 1, holding conferences. Seminars, lecture tours, publications, manpower studies, and direct advice to governments, universities, and other educational organizations. They also advise member societies. They advise their members. Our next topic is on International Federation of Surveyors. International Federation of Surveyors.
Ask them.
International Federation of Surveyors. You can see that the acronym there is FIG. FIG. The reason is that the association was founded in France, and the French version is Fédération Internationale de Géométrie. Forgive my pronunciation. I'm not a French person, but that French means International Federation of Surveyors. International Federation of Surveyors. The acronym is FIG. FIG is a premier international organization representing the interests of surveyors worldwide. Representing the interests of surveyors worldwide. The interests of surveyors worldwide. Person who is the background noise, please mute your microphone. Good. You can see it was founded in 1876 in Paris. 1876 in Paris. And FIG was recognized by United Nations. It was recognized by United Nations as a non-profitable organization. It was recognized by United Nations as a non-profit organization. And it represents members in up to 120 countries. Represents members in up to 120 countries. The aim of establishing FIG is to be the premier international non-governmental organization that represents the interest of surveyors and users of surveying services. To represent the interest of surveyors and users of surveying services. The interest of surveyors and users of surveying services. FIG has the following objectives. FIG has the following objectives. You can screenshot it. You can do a screenshot so that at your own time you can go through them. To provide international forum for the exchange of information about surveying. To provide an international forum for the exchange of information about surveying. That means it provides a forum where surveyors worldwide can exchange information. It collaborates with the United Nations and other international and regional agencies. Collaborates with the United Nations and other international and regional agencies in the formulation and implementation of policies affecting the use, development, and management of land resources. And management of land resources.
You can come.
To promote the discipline of surveying in developing countries. To promote the discipline of surveying in developing countries.
Sir, some people's mic are still on. They are disturbing at the background. They should mute it, please.
Please, if your mic is on, turn it off, please. So you don't disturb the lecture. If your microphone is on, please turn it off. Greg, that your discussion, we are hearing it. Please, can you turn off your mic? Okay, so the objectives of FIG, like we said before, to promote the discipline of surveying, particularly in developing countries of the world. To promote the role of surveyors in the management of natural and man-made environments. To encourage the development and proper use of technologies as they emerge. To encourage research in all disciplines of surveying and to share the results with member countries. To encourage research in all disciplines of surveying and to share the results with member countries. You can see their mission statement. The mission statement of FIG is to ensure that the discipline of surveying and all who practice them meet the needs of the markets and communities that they serve. That is their mission statement. Membership of FIG. Membership of FIG. We have member associations who are members of FIG, national associations representing surveying discipline. We are estate surveying and valuation profession. We are a member of FIG. It will also interest you to know that the land surveying profession is a member and the quantity surveying profession, they are all members. FIG also have affiliates. There are some groups who are not members but are affiliated to FIG. So, group of surveyors or surveying organizations or those who engage in professional activities but are not members of FIG can become affiliates. They can get affiliated to FIG. We have also corporate organizations, commercial organizations, provided they are in the field of surveying. They can be a member of FIG. Provided they are in the field of surveying, they can be members of FIG. Academic institutions can also be members of FIG. Academic institutions, provided these institutions surveying, the profession of surveying. The last topic for today is RICS, Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, RICS. RICS. RICS was founded in London on the 15th of June, 1868. On the 15th of June, 1868. And the inaugural president became John Cluton. John Cluton became the inaugural president. On the 26th of August, 1881, on the 26th of August, 1881, RICS received a royal charter. And if you look at the screen there, I try to explain what a royal charter means. A royal charter is simply an instrument of incorporation granted by the Queen of England, which confers independent legal personality on an organization and defines its objective, constitution, and power to govern its own affairs. So the Queen of England bestowed on RICS a royal charter. It bestowed on RICS a royal charter. RICS accredits members from land profession, property profession, and construction sector. So you can see that FIG was only interested in surveying, but RICS is interested in any profession that deals with land, any profession that deals with property, and any profession that deals with construction. RICS is interested in such profession. And if you become a member of RICS, then you can go with the designation MRICS if you are just a member, FRICS if you are a fellow, and associate of RICS if you are a technical member. So they differentiate between corporate members and associate members, technical members. If you are a technical member, then you go with the associate of RICS. But if you are a full member, you are MRICS, member of the RICS. But if you become a fellow, you become FRICS, meaning fellow of Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. If you are a member of RICS, remember, you are free to practice estate management anywhere in the world. If you have RICS and you want to be registered in Nigeria, if you are not a member of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuer, you are not a member of the board. Once you have RICS, it is automatic registration for you in Nigeria. It is automatic registration for you in Nigeria. Some other things we need to know is that the Surveyors Institution became the Chartered Surveyors Institution in 1930. In other words, in 1930, it was called Surveyor. Before 1930, it was answering other things, but in 1930, it became the Surveyors Institution. And in 1946, the King of England, George VI, name Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. And that is why from 1947, the profession is known worldwide as a Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, RICS. RICS has its headquarters in London. It has its headquarters in London, but some other regional offices are different other parts of the world: China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, Brazil, and North America. They have regional headquarters in these areas. The aim of Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, their aim, number one, they work hard to regulate and promote the profession. They work hard to regulate and promote the profession. Please, if your mic is still on, turn it off. If your mic is still on, please turn it off. There are some people who are talking at the background. Please, off your mic. They regulate and promote the profession of surveying too. You can see the third one, which is also very important, to protect clients and consumers through the principle of ethics. I want to point out something very important. You will notice that since we've been discussing, I keep hammering on ethics. I keep hammering on ethics. In Nigeria, we are not serious with ethics. We are not serious with ethics. But if you find yourself outside this country, you must abide by ethics. And I want to assure you that in RICS, there are exams to write. If you pass all the exams, and you fail ethics, nobody will register you in RICS. But if you pass ethics and you fail other exams, you will be given an opportunity to receive those exams. So that is the importance of ethics. RICS also tries to provide impartial advice, analysis, and guidance to member countries. International presence, like I said before, RICS has regional offices. You can see RICS Europe, RICS Asia, RICS Oceania, RICS America, RICS Middle East, and Africa. There are different regional offices. RICS also cooperates with other international organizations such as FIG, United Nations, World Bank, and European Union. And European Union membership. RICS has membership at 4 categories. 4 categories of membership. Graduate members, technical members who eventually become associate members, academic members, and senior professionals. The senior professionals are the ones that are professional members and fellows. The senior professionals are the ones that are professional members and fellows. Designations. If you are a member of RICS and you are a fellow, you go with the fellow of RICS. If you are a member, you go with a professional member, you go with the RICS. If you are a technical member, you go with associate of RICS. RICS also have honorary members. You also see from what I said before that RICS accepts members from clusters of landed property, land, property, and construction industry. And if you look at the table on your screen, you will see the areas where RICS accept professionals, those in the property or professional group. If you are into valuation of arts and antiquities, if you are into commercial properties, dispute resolution in the built environment, facilities management, machinery and access, management consultancy, residential property valuation, and building conservation, you can be in the group of property professional groups. For those in land profession, those in environment, geometrics, minerals and waste, planning and development, rural development, and telecom forum, you belong to land professional. And if you are into building control, building surveying, project management, quantity surveying and construction, dilapidations forum and insurance forum, you belong to the construction industry forum. I beg to stop here today because my time is almost up, and I will now pause for questions. I also please that a little time is given to us on questions. While we were discussing, a number of text messages were coming in. I will also try to address those text messages. So, for those who have questions, please. For those who have questions to ask, please. You can ask your question. You can raise your hand, or you can indicate on your. Hello. Hello. Questions.
The background noise was too much. Some people are watching films, some people are discussing. Let's mute our mic, please.
Well, I'm not the convener. I pleaded with the convener to mute every other person before when the lecture is going on.
It is well. But the lecture is over anyway. People can ask questions.
Yes, I'm waiting for questions.
I want to have.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I said for the purpose of this exam, are we supposed to know all these professional bodies and their function?
My brother, the question can come from anywhere. I'm just going through the lecture part.
Beautiful question. I wanted to ask that too.
Are we expected to study as much as possible? You're expected to have a wide knowledge. And since this is in your lecture part, that's why I'm taking it. You can see that we covered almost 60, the first 60 pages or something pages of the lecture part. In the next lecture, I will try and continue. Remember, for those of you who joined late, at the beginning of the lecture, I mentioned the coordinator said.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
I can
Hello,
hear you.
sir. I sent a question on the chat. Can you please respond?
You sent what?
I sent a question on the chat. Can you please respond?
Okay. What's your name so that I will know the question?
My name is Benjamin Okoye. My name is Benjamin Okoye.
Okay, I'm searching for it. Okay. Okay, your question is, why are lecturers being allowed to practice full-time and also do their lecturing job? Is that your question? Benjamin?
Yes, sir, that's the question. That's the question.
Okay, I mentioned that lecturers are allowed to practice and lecture because they are expected to do practical, acquire knowledge from the practicals they are doing, and impart the same knowledge on students in the classroom. In fact, overseas, if you are taking a course, you are given an opportunity to choose your lecturers. You will see a professor who is a complete lecturer. He has not practiced. So whatever he's teaching you is theory. You will see a lecturer who is not a doctor, who is not a professor, but you will see his resume and you will see that he works in the field. Given an opportunity to choose whether you want the professor to teach you or the person who has acquired experience, professional experience. But here in Nigeria, what they have done is to allow the lecturer to go to the field, acquire technical knowledge, come back and impart the knowledge on the students. That is why they are allowed to practice and also lecture. But for people who work in the ministry, who work in banks, who work in public offices, it is not possible to practice and work at the same time. It's illegal. If you are caught, you can be penalized. I don't know if I have answered your question, Benjamin. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You've answered that one. I'm still asking on that one. There's one I'm writing now. I'm coming. That one has been answered.
Okay.
There's one I'm writing now. I'll post it right now.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
There are some questions on the chat.
Yes.
There are some questions on the chat.
Yeah, I saw one by
Adebayo Adewale.
Yes. For the purpose of this exam, are we to know all this? Can you please help us with some key areas? Thanks. Okay, please, for now, we are doing the lectures. I know that the secretariat will expect me to cover everything in your lecture part. Maybe by the time we get there, by the time we get to the end, we can now start talking about areas of concentration.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I also expect that the chairman of the education committee will expect us to send in questions. Maybe by the time we send in questions, we can also discuss other things connected with the questions we have submitted. Hello? Then somebody asked a question. I need clarification on the functions of the committees of council. I mentioned that there are about 12 committees of council. There are about 12 committees of council. I expect you to know all of them and be able to say something about those 12 committees. But the management committee seems to be day-to-day running of the council, headed by the president, the first vice president, the second vice president, the honorary national secretary, and so on and so forth. There are 9 members. There are 9 members. Then we have the membership committee. Membership committee is the committee that accepts members into the profession. And most of you who are writing this exam will definitely meet the membership committee during your election interview. So it is their duty to acquire to accept members into the profession. The education committee is the committee that is responsible for this exam that you are preparing for. This exam you are preparing for is an exam that is conducted by the education committee. We have the PPC. The PPC is the disciplinary body of the institution. Professional practice committee. So when you have a problem and you want to report, you report to PPC. PPC is usually headed by the honorary publicity secretary, because he's the one that is interacting with the general public. Then we have MCPD committee that organizes our national MCPD. They also organize, help to coordinate the MCPD of the various branches. We have the Statute and Government Relations Committee. That committee is to interface with the government. The members of the committee are usually senior members of the profession that can have access to the government, that can walk into the National Assembly and discuss with the Senate President or the President of the lower house. They can see ministers, they can see directors, and interface with the government, especially on matters that affect our profession. We have the Legal Matters Committee. These are the people that handle our legal matters. If you check, you will see that the institution is in court with a number of our members and is in court with some outside bodies. All those are handled by the legal committee. We have the editorial committee. That editorial committee takes care of publication of the institution. You know that the institution has a journal and a newsletter. These are published from time to time. Our journal is a biannual journal. The first one is from January to June. The second one is for July and July to December. Then we publish newsletters. Before, if some of the people who paid for this year's conference must have received the journal for this year and the newsletters. All those things are published by the editorial board committee. So some of them, we have the Finance and General Purpose Committee. The Finance and General Purpose Committee is the committee that manages the finances of the institution. They can also form ad hoc finance institutions that run general purpose, things that may crop up. Then we have the Privileges Committee. Privileges Committee is the committee that nominates those that the institution will honor, give awards, those that will be elevated into fellows, those that will be given an award at national level, award at state level. They are usually handled by the Privileges Committee. Still expecting questions before my time gets over.
Echo, no? Echo.
Questions?
Okay.
Okay, in the absence of questions, we'll call it a day. Remember that my lecture is also up on Monday by 11 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
It's all right. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Because of that council member that we talked about. Oh.
Thank you.